Ladies and gentlemen, there is an old truth that echoes through the corridors of time. Wherever success walks, envy follows. Wherever honesty breathes, falsehood lurks. It is an unfortunate part of human nature, but recognizing these forces early is the shield that protects the heart from unseen daggers. Envy does not always arrive with a snarl. Sometimes it comes dressed in admiration, wrapped in a handshake and softened by words too sweet to be real. But if you look closely, if you listen with discernment, you will see through the disguise. Envy is a silent adversary, lurking beneath the surface, often unnoticed until its effects are felt. It rarely announces itself with an open declaration of resentment. Instead, it simmers quietly in the background, concealed behind polite smiles and words laced with false admiration. Those who harbor envy do not always act in obvious ways. They may not openly criticize or confront, but their silence, their hesitation, and their carefully masked discontent speak volumes. You see, when someone is envious of you, they experience an internal struggle. On the surface, they may appear supportive, but beneath that thin veil of courtesy, your achievements remind them of what they lack. And rather than seeking to improve themselves, they allow bitterness to take root. They may congratulate you, but listen closely. Does their voice lack warmth? Do their words feel rehearsed, forced, or begrudging? There is a peculiar characteristic of envy. It thrives in moments of success. Pay attention to how people react when you achieve something remarkable. True friends, those who genuinely care for you, will celebrate your victories as if they were their own. They will clap without hesitation, their joy untainted by comparison. But the envious? They will find an excuse to remain quiet. They will offer half-hearted praise followed by a subtle shift in conversation, diverting attention away from your accomplishment. And then there are those whose envy manifests through passive aggression. They will disguise their resentment behind humor, offering jokes that seem harmless on the surface but carry a hidden sting. Their words will be veiled in sarcasm, their compliments backhanded, their support conditional. If you listen carefully, you will recognize that their laughter is not shared in joy, but in discomfort. But envy is not always an external force. It can exist in those closest to you. Colleagues who subtly undermine your contributions, friends who hesitate before offering congratulations, even family members who seem distant in the face of your success. The truth is, envy knows no boundaries. It does not discriminate. It can be found in those we least expect, in those who should be our greatest supporters. So what must you do? Must you resent them? No, you must not allow their envy to consume you, as it has consumed them. Instead, you must recognize it for what it is, a reflection of their insecurities, not of your worth. Their silence does not diminish your achievement. Their hesitance does not erase your progress. Walk forward with awareness, but not with anger. Understand that not everyone will be happy for you, and that is okay. Do not shrink yourself to accommodate the discomfort of others. Do not silence your success to ease their insecurities. Instead, stand firm in your path. Surround yourself with those whose applause is genuine, whose encouragement is unwavering, and whose presence is rooted in truth. For at the end of the day, envy cannot touch those who refuse to be shaken by it. It can only linger in the shadows, powerless against those who continue to rise. Falsehood is a curious thing. It does not always present itself as an outright lie. Sometimes it is found in what is left unsaid, in the moments of hesitation, in the subtle deflections that twist reality just enough to deceive without detection. A person who deals in falsehood is not always a grand manipulator or villainous figure. Sometimes they are the ones who nod too quickly, who agree too easily, whose words feel just a little too polished to be sincere. The deception does not always arrive in the form of a blatant untruth. More often it slips through in careful omissions, in exaggerations designed to mislead, in agreements that lack conviction. A person who is untruthful will not always tell you a direct lie, but they will rarely offer the whole truth either. They may evade questions, give half answers, or conveniently forget details that do not serve their purpose. Watch closely and you will see that their stories change depending on whom they are speaking to. Their loyalty shifts like sand beneath the tide, molded by whatever benefits them in the moment. One of the clearest signs of falsehood is inconsistency. A person who does not speak the truth will struggle to keep their narrative intact. They may contradict themselves in small ways, details that do not quite add up, timelines that shift, explanations that sound reasonable at first but fall apart under scrutiny. If you find yourself questioning the reliability of someone's words, take a step back and observe. Does their story remain the same over time, or does it shift when challenged? Falsehood is often accompanied by exaggerated agreement. Beware of those who always seem to be on your side, who never offer a differing opinion, who nod along to everything you say. True honesty is not afraid of disagreement. A genuine person will challenge you when necessary, offering perspectives that may not always align with yours. But someone who deals in falsehood, they will tell you what you want to hear, not what you need to know. Their approval is not a reflection of their loyalty, but rather a tool they use to stay in your good graces. And then there is the issue of intentions. A person who is false will often disguise their true motives behind a mask of friendliness. They may offer help, not out of generosity, but as a means to position themselves favorably. Their kindness may be conditional, their support temporary, their presence fleeting. They will stand beside you when it is convenient, but when difficulties arise, they will be nowhere to be found. So how do you protect yourself? The answer is simple. Trust actions over words. Words are easy to shape, but actions reveal the truth. Watch how people behave when they have nothing to gain. Observe whether their loyalty remains steady even when circumstances change. Do not be blinded by charm, by empty promises, by the illusion of unwavering support. Instead, recognize falsehood for what it is: a fragile mask, one that cannot withstand the weight of time. The eyes, they say, are the windows to the soul. They betray emotions that words work so hard to conceal. In a world where envy and falsehood often hide behind crafted expressions and carefully chosen words, the eyes remain one of the few honest indicators of a person's true feelings. You can hear all the praise in the world, receive all the congratulations, and still, if you look closely, the eyes will tell you what words do not. There is an unmistakable flicker, brief but telling, a moment of hesitation, a shift in gaze, a tightening around the corners of the eyes. When someone is envious of you, they may smile, but their eyes will not. The warmth that should be there, the light that naturally accompanies sincerity, will be missing. Instead, what you will often find is a forced expression, a look that lingers just a second too long or shifts away too quickly, unable to maintain genuine connection. It is the same with falsehood. People who are not truthful, who conceal their true intentions, struggle to meet your gaze with the steadiness that comes from honesty. Their eyes dart away when questioned, searching for an escape, for the right words to maintain the illusion. Or they overcompensate, locking eyes with an intensity that feels unnatural, as if they are trying too hard to convince you. A person who speaks the truth does not need to prove it with excessive eye contact. They simply exist in their honesty, unbothered by scrutiny. When someone truly celebrates your success, their eyes reflect joy as much as their words do. There is no strain, no underlying resentment, no discomfort. The envious, however, will struggle with this. They may nod, they may even say the right things, but their expression will betray them. Their excitement will seem measured, their enthusiasm lacking its natural spontaneity. They might quickly change the subject or redirect attention elsewhere, uncomfortable with dwelling on your achievement. Then, there are those who hide their resentment behind an illusion of support. These individuals will often exaggerate their reactions, overly enthusiastic, too quick to shower you with compliments that feel rehearsed rather than heartfelt. But again, their eyes will not match the performance. While their mouth speaks praise, their gaze may remain distant, or worse. They may scan the room, ensuring others witness their display of admiration. They do not truly celebrate you. They perform celebration for the sake of appearance. So, what must one do with this knowledge? The answer is not to become paranoid, but to become observant. Pay attention to what is not being said, to the small moments in between words. The truth is always there, written in micro-expressions, in fleeting glances, in the unguarded moments when people forget to mask their emotions. In a world where deception often hides in plain sight, the ability to read beyond words is a powerful gift. Listen with your ears, but watch with your eyes. They will never mislead you. Words are powerful. They can build, they can destroy, and they can deceive. But among all the words spoken, the most dangerous are those wrapped in honey, sweet, flattering, and carefully designed to manipulate rather than to uplift. Beware of excessive compliments, of praise that feels more like persuasion than sincerity. For in the art of deception, the tongue is a skilled weapon, and those who seek to mislead often wield it with expert precision. True admiration is balanced, sincere, and given without expectation. It does not seek to control or to gain favor. It simply acknowledges and appreciates. However, when words feel overly polished, when compliments arrive in abundance yet lack depth, it is often a sign that something is amiss. People who flatter excessively do not do so out of genuine admiration, but rather as a means of influence. They understand that praise is a powerful tool, that it can lower defenses, make one feel seen, validated, and once that sense of obligation takes hold, they will use it to their advantage. Consider this. When someone genuinely appreciates you, their praise is not constant, nor does it feel forced. It comes naturally, in moments where it is deserved. But those who seek to manipulate through words will shower you with compliments at every opportunity, often without substance. "You're amazing," they'll say. "There's no one like you." At first, it may feel good, but look closely. Do they truly understand what makes you remarkable? Or are their words vague, applicable to anyone, designed to make you feel special without offering any real insight? Such individuals often overcompensate. They fear that their true intentions will be revealed, so they mask them with grandiose admiration. They will tell you what you want to hear, agreeing with you at every turn, never offering a challenge or an honest critique. Why? Because honesty does not serve their purpose, obedience does. They do not seek to support you, they seek to control you. They create an illusion of friendship, of loyalty, but the moment you no longer serve their needs, their praise will disappear, and so will they. Then there are those who disguise envy with excessive compliments. They may outwardly celebrate your success, but their words lack warmth. They congratulate you too quickly, too eagerly, as if rushing through an obligation. It is a subtle act, but one that reveals itself if you pay attention. Their tone does not match their words. Their smile is there, but their eyes remain distant. So how do you guard yourself against such deception? By valuing actions over words. True support is not spoken. It is demonstrated. It is found in those who stand by you even when there is no reward. In those who offer guidance instead of blind agreement. In those whose praise is rare but deeply meaningful. Flattery is the language of those who seek to gain without giving. Do not be fooled by honeyed words. Listen not just to what is said, but to what is felt. The truth is always there beneath the surface. Passive aggression is a subtle yet sharp weapon, wielded by those who lack the courage to confront but still wish to wound. Unlike open hostility, which is easy to recognize and address, passive aggression seeps into conversations like a slow-acting poison. Hidden behind sarcasm, disguised as humor, or masked as constructive criticism, it is not a direct attack but a calculated one designed to unsettle, to diminish, to cast doubt without ever making an explicit accusation. Those who envy you will rarely insult you outright. They will not openly say they wish to see you fail. Instead, they will lace their words with hidden jabs, small but deliberate, designed to make you second-guess yourself. Oh, you got that promotion? Wow, they must have really lowered their standards. The words are delivered with a smile, perhaps even with a laugh, but the sting remains. Or perhaps they say, "It's great you started your own business. I could never take that kind of financial risk." A compliment on the surface, but underneath an insinuation that you are reckless, that your success is unstable, that failure is just around the corner. And then there are the backhanded compliments, seemingly kind words with a subtle edge meant to undermine rather than uplift. "You actually did a great job on that project. I wasn't expecting it." The implication that your success was surprising, even unlikely. "You look amazing today. What changed?" As if your usual appearance were less than impressive. These are not accidents. They are carefully crafted statements designed to appear harmless while delivering a quiet blow. Another sign of passive aggression is the way envious individuals dismiss your accomplishments. They will downplay your hard work, suggesting that luck or external factors played a greater role than your effort. "Well, it's easy for you. You have all the right connections." Or, "Must be nice to have everything just fall into place for you." These statements rob you of your achievements, making them seem undeserved, as if success were handed to you rather than earned. Perhaps the most frustrating aspect of passive aggression is its deniability. If confronted, the person will often act surprised, as if you misunderstood them. "Oh, I was just joking. Don't take it so seriously." Or, "I didn't mean it that way. You're being too sensitive." This tactic places the blame on you, making you question your own perception rather than acknowledging their intent. So how do you handle passive aggression? The key is to recognize it early and refuse to engage in its game. Do not allow these hidden barbs to take root in your mind. When someone disguises negativity as humor, call it out, calmly but firmly. If they dismiss your achievements, stand in your truth and acknowledge your hard work without seeking validation from them. Most importantly, surround yourself with people who celebrate you sincerely, who offer constructive feedback without malice, who lift you rather than subtly tear you down. Envy hides behind passive aggression, but those with clarity and confidence cannot be shaken by it. Silence is not always empty. Sometimes it speaks volumes. And when it comes to envy, silence is often the loudest confession. Those who envy you may not always criticize or undermine you directly. Instead, they withhold what should be naturally given: recognition, support, and acknowledgement. Their silence in moments of your success is not accidental. It is intentional. It is a quiet protest, a refusal to celebrate what they wish they had for themselves. Consider this. When something good happens in your life, when you achieve something meaningful, who are the first to reach out? Who claps for you? Who sends a message? Who expresses genuine joy? These are your true supporters, the ones whose happiness for you is not diminished by comparison. Now, think about those who remain strangely quiet, the ones who were present for your struggles but absent in your victories, the ones who always have something to say when you fail, but nothing to contribute when you succeed. That silence is not indifference, it is resentment in disguise. The envious find it difficult to offer congratulations because your success is a reminder of their own perceived shortcomings. Rather than seeing your achievement as an inspiration, they view it as a threat. They tell themselves that by refusing to acknowledge it, they are somehow taking power away from it. They believe that by staying silent, they can diminish the moment, make it feel less significant. But what they fail to understand is this: your success does not need their validation. It stands on its own, whether they acknowledge it or not. And then there are those who break their silence, but not in the way you would hope. Instead of offering words of encouragement, they speak through dismissive remarks, through deflection, through subtle ways of shifting the spotlight elsewhere. They may say, "Oh, that's nice," and then immediately change the subject. Or, "Well, I heard that someone else did it even better." Rather than allowing you to enjoy your moment, they attempt to minimize it, to dilute its impact. The most telling sign of envious silence is when it comes from those who once expected you to struggle. They were comfortable when you were in difficulty because it made them feel superior. But the moment you rise, the dynamic shifts, and their silence becomes deafening. These are the people who will watch from the sidelines, hoping you will stumble, hoping that your success is temporary. They may not say a word, but their absence in your joy is just as revealing as an outright insult. So how should you respond? Do not chase after their approval. Do not shrink your achievements to make them comfortable. Recognize their silence for what it is, a reflection of their own insecurities, not of your worth. Instead, focus on those who celebrate with you, who lift you up without hesitation, who see your success as a shared joy rather than a personal loss. In a world where envy often hides in silence, let your success be the noise that cannot be ignored. There is a certain weight to negativity. It lingers in the air, it shifts the energy in a room, and if you are not careful, it can attach itself to you. Those who carry envy and falsehood do not always attack outright, nor do they always remain silent. Sometimes they express their resentment through constant negativity, through an unrelenting stream of pessimism and discouragement. These individuals are not just skeptical, they are deliberately discouraging, not because they see the impossibility of your success, but because they fear it. You will recognize them in the way they respond to your dreams and ambitions. When you share a goal, a vision, something that excites you, they are the first to highlight its flaws. That sounds great, but do you really think it's possible? Or, a lot of people have tried that and failed. Their words are not framed as outright discouragement, but they plant seeds of doubt. They mask their envy as concern, their insecurity as wisdom. They will position themselves as realists, as pragmatists, insisting that they are merely helping you stay grounded. But the truth is, they are not afraid that you will fail. They are afraid that you will succeed. And if you do succeed, watch how their negativity transforms. Suddenly, it is not that your goal was impossible. It is that you must have had some unfair advantage. Well, it's easy for you because you have connections. Or you were just lucky. They cannot accept that your success is the result of your effort, because doing so would force them to confront their own lack of action. It is far easier to discredit you than to face the truth about themselves. But the negativity does not stop there. It extends beyond just your success. It seeps into every aspect of life. These individuals find a problem in everything. They are always dissatisfied, always critical. If you talk about an exciting opportunity, they will find the risks. If you discuss something positive, they will remind you of its potential downsides. Their conversations are filled with complaints, their outlook is bleak, and no matter what happens, they always seem to focus on what is missing rather than what is present. So why does this matter? Because energy is contagious. If you are surrounded by those who constantly doubt, who always see the negative, who never believe in anything, that mindset will begin to affect you. Doubt, when repeated often enough, can take root even in the most confident mind. The danger of negativity is not just that it exists, it is that it spreads. The solution is simple but difficult. Distance yourself. Do not engage in conversations that drain your energy. Do not seek validation from those who thrive on discouragement. Surround yourself with people who see possibilities, who challenge you constructively, who encourage growth rather than fear. Negativity is the language of those who have given up. Let their doubt remain their own burden to carry. It does not belong to you.